Hi, I'm Anne Goodwin, and this is my debut novel, Sugar and Snails, which was shortlisted for the 2016 Polari First Book Award. Sugar and Snails is a midlife coming-of-age story about a woman who has kept her past identity a secret for 30 years. Sugar and Snails starts with my character, Diana, in 2004, aged 45, facing a relationship crisis, and moves back and forth in time to reveal what her secret is, how it's impacted on her career and relationships, and most importantly, what she's going to do about it now. Is she going to continue hiding herself away, terrified of discovery? Or will she be brave enough to shed her inhibitions and perhaps even take a chance on romance? So, I'm not going to reveal Diana's secret here, but I can assure you it's an interesting and unusual one. But although most of us haven't had the experiences she's had, we can identify with the challenges she's faced. Who hasn't ever felt uncomfortable, ashamed, or compelled to hide part of who they are? Who hasn't ever dreamt of waking up in the morning to find themselves transformed, with all their awkward, embarrassing imperfections spirited away? Who hasn't ever wanted to bridge the gap between who they are and who they feel they ought to be? Sugar and Snails explores three main themes: adolescence, invisible vulnerabilities, and gender. Adolescence is a period of enormous physical and psychological transformation as we leave behind the uncertainties of childhood and embrace the opportunities and responsibilities of adulthood. If we're lucky, we get to play around with different looks and personas until we find the one that suits us best. If we're less secure, perhaps because of our personalities or circumstances, like Diana in my novel, the ambiguity can be terrifying. But Diana manages to survive her adolescence and actually forges a reasonably successful career as an academic psychologist. Yet her vulnerability hasn't gone away. She's just better at hiding it. When things get tough, she resorts to self-harm, just as she did as a child. We tend to categorise people as either one thing or another: successful or unsuccessful, winner or loser, victor or victim, when most of us are actually a mixture of both. In Diana, I wanted to create a character who was doing pretty well for herself on the surface, but with invisible vulnerabilities underneath. Gender is another way we divide human beings into this type of person or that. Most of us take gender for granted, even if we laugh at the stereotypes, such as women being defined as those people who like shoes and shopping, men as those who like beer and football. In Sugar and Snails, I wanted to explore how gender can be constraining in a particularly painful way for those who don't quite fit the mould. The passage I'm going to read relates to all three of these themes. Diana recalls her dread of impending puberty and, with no one to confide in, expresses it the only way she can. Rumours blew around the playground. If you were a girl, you were destined to get dreadful stomach cramps, severe enough to lead to bleeding between your legs, and you'd have to go around with a mini nappy in your knickers. If you were a boy, you were fated to get odd sensations in your cock, twitching and swelling till it forced its way out of your underpants. You'd start to dream of women's breasts, and a liquid, thick like sour milk, would leave a smelly white patch on the sheets that told your mother you'd been thinking dirty. Boy or girl, the indignity was unavoidable, as sure as the school bus and black woolen blazers with an embroidered badge on the breast pocket. The female way seemed marginally preferable. All that blood and pain could be a secret wound, like a saint's stigmata. I found out where Patricia hid her Dr. Whites in the airing cupboard and made my plan. It was a Sunday afternoon. My dad was out hiking, Patricia doing her homework at her boyfriend's, Trevor playing at being gorillas with his mates, and my mother downstairs watching an Ealing comedy with her feet up on the buffet. I took the bread knife from the kitchen and crept upstairs. In the bathroom, I bolted the door and changed into clean pyjamas, the closest I had to a surgical gown. I tore open a fresh packet of Dr. Whites and laid them beside the knife. I removed my pyjama bottoms and draped them over the side of the bath. The ache matched all the rumours about period pain. The blood confirmed all reports about the mess. The blood kept flowing, no matter how many sanitary towels I used to mop it up. Of course, that's just a small snippet of my novel, but if you're interested to read more and find out about what happens to Diana and what trauma she's experienced in the past, then you can buy Sugar and Snails in ebook format or in paperback anywhere in the world. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.